This is the Leading Ladies podcast with Karen Gray, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they've learned on their road to success, and get exclusive access on how to implement their success into your life and business. The Leading Ladies podcast is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Karen Gray.
Hey, are you looking to scale your business from 5 figures to 6 figures or 6 figures to 7 figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash, and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Welcome to our first season of Leading Ladies, and today I'm so excited to have my new friend, Shridhevi. She is a parenting coach for busy professional moms. She helps moms who feel stuck, they've tried everything, and still can't get their child to listen. She also works with parents of neurodiverse and neurotypical kids. So let's jump right into our conversation. And the first question that I have for you, well, first off, thank you for being here. This is our flagship season. So thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so looking forward to our conversation.
Well, I'm excited to have you on and to hear your perspective, because we each have a unique lens that we look at life through. But what has it meant to you, or does it mean to you, to be a leader as a woman?
That's a very interesting question. And when you say the word leader, I'm like, do I look at myself as a leader? And one thing that I've always looked at in a similar context is more of someone who's inspiring, empowering women, or like a person who can support and guide, because that's how I would want someone, if I'm in their position. I want to feel that way too. I want to feel empowered. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel supported and guided. And as a parent myself, and I coach parents, and I would want that. I want someone to be in my corner, my cheerleader, and a support system. So for me, a leadership is more of someone who uplifts people. So I would look at myself as someone who collaborates, is there, and is in a supportive role.
I love that. And I would say I very much resonate with that as well. And I think oftentimes women, we follow women that we can relate to. So it's really about that relationship. And so how do you, in the role of a coach, how do you lead your clients to follow your experience, your expertise? Because you've been in the trenches doing this work for many, many years. So let's talk a little bit about kind of your background and the school system and the things that you've done, and then how you're using that experience to lead, empower, influence parents to have better experiences.
For sure. So yes, just talking about my background, just give me a little context. I've worked in a clinic for a couple of years. So in a clinical setting, it's more of children, mostly autistic kids who have more severe and challenging behaviors, who are not able to function in a normal school setting. So their needs are much higher. So the parents' needs are much different too, because they have more amount of stress associated with that. So working with them was a different kind of experience versus working in a school setting. I work with more diverse populations, with kids with learning disabilities and a lot of different topographies of behaviors. Yes, in that situation as well, there are different intensities. It's like a spectrum. So working with parents has also been a very different and unique experience. And now last couple of years, I'm doing my own private practice, which has its own uniqueness to it. So what I've learned from all these experiences is that given whatever context, is every parent story is so different. Every child's story is so different, and it's so unique. And I've always bottom line, being a parent is hard. Neurotypical, neurodiverse, it's a very hard job. So, and I've learned from experience that parents have more, I don't want to say buy-in, but it's kind of like a buy-in. They're more receptive when we come from a place of validation than telling them what to do. Because as a parent, it's hard because you're like, I can't, even as a mom, I have this guilt. If someone tells me, you have to do A, B, and C, it kind of makes you, am I a bad parent? I mean, don't I even know how to do this? Like, you feel a little bit of guilt and you're like, yes, maybe I should do that. And you have self-doubt. So the way I typically approach it is I start by validating, like, this is a hard job. What you're doing, everyone's doing the best they can. It's just that maybe they're not shown the right way, right? Like, they're doing the best they can. Maybe that's the only way they know, and I'm just showing them a different direction. So that's the way I approach it. I always tell them what they want and ask them what they want. And then what are their values? What is important to them? And then work from there. So it's more than a leadership role. I think I kind of guide them towards what they want and what they need. So I don't necessarily tell them what to do, but if they tell me this is what I want for my child, I give them the tools. Like, maybe we can do these A, B, and C things to help you. In that way, they feel like they have some control, they have some say, they just need that direction. And I'm just that person, the guidance person to help them in that way. So that's typically how I work with parents across. It doesn't matter what setting, but that's typically my approach with them.
I love it. So when you're specifically working with moms that have children and they're working or they own their business, how do you help them to create that balance so that they can fulfill everything that's required of them in both personally and professionally, both sides of their world?
Yes, that's hard too, right? I mean, being a mom and then working is tough too. So one of the questions I always ask moms is, what do they want? What is their biggest top? We talk about values and we talk about what is your top 3 priorities in life? What do you want? If they say, and it boils down a lot of things, because it boils down to work, relationship, the 3 main things: health, wealth, relationships, right? And then, so talk about the areas that is most important to you. And if that is the value, if you say that your relationship with your child, you want it to be at an 8, that's where you want to be. Where are you now? Just give me a number. I mean, it doesn't have to be, scientific or accurate in your mind. And if they say they're at a 5, and if they say, what about work? I mean, what is your value for work? And they say it's a 6, but how much time do you put in at work? And they say it's a 9. You see, there's an imbalance there. So kind of like figuring out where you are and where you want to be. So then you have to prioritize, right? Because it's impossible to do everything. It's impossible to do work and, come home and have all the energy to spend with your child. So we just have to find a balance within that. And then if everything is equal, then like, what can we do? Maybe you need help. Maybe you need more resources to provide those additional support so that you can do what you want to do. Maybe you have someone come home and do your dishes and something to help you spend time with your kid, because your work is equally important to the time you spend with your kids. So we just have to figure that out, have that awareness. And then if you're like, and they say, oh my God, I'm spending so much time at work, like, okay, I need to cut down because this is more important to me. And thank you for giving that awareness piece.
Yes.
And so that's how we talk through those things.
I love it. So it's really the quintessential pick your battle, right?
Yes, exactly.
Prioritize and then pick your battle. And
pick your battles, for sure.
So if you were to describe your superpower as a leader, what would you say is yours?
My superpower, I think it's um
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus, what I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
I feel like I'm a good listener. I listen, I observe, and I don't mind taking the back seat, which is opposite of what you think of a leader, taking the back seat. But I feel like the more I listen and the more I observe, the more I can help, and I'm willing to do that. And the other piece is I'm trying, and I feel like this. I love this to be my superpower, is being more compassionate to myself. So every time there is a setback, and I'm doing this more often, is like I'm giving myself grace. It's like it's okay, and then moving forward. So I think I know I kind of covered a couple of things, but I think the biggest thing is I listen, observe, take a break, a pause, and then come back. So yeah.
I love that. So important. And I think that's such a good example for anyone that's listening to this is great leaders aren't always the ones talking. You don't have to be the one, you know, sometimes in sales we say, you know, the one who talks first loses, or, you know, the one who talks the most is the one who's paying. But it's true in leadership as well, because you get to know the people, what they need, how to meet those needs when you listen more so than when you talk. So I love that was your superpower. And I would agree, you are a great listener. But you're also great at supporting people. So how can someone, if they're a parent, they need that balance, they have a neurodivergent or neurodiverse family member or child, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way to connect?
So I have a website. It's called www.beingyoullc.com. And I like to direct people to that website because it gives a great kind of overview of what I do, the approaches that I use, and the work that I do. And it also has my phone number and my email address, which is my business name, beingyoullc@gmail.com.
Okay, I love it. And then do you have any special resources or any other suggestions for someone who is looking to be a better leader, a stronger leader for their family, for their friends, for their organization, or for their business or work? Anything that you would recommend or suggest for them?
In terms of resources, or just...
Yeah, resource, a book, anything that you love giving them, like you mentioned, you know, the measuring and prioritizing. Is that the wheel of life? What is it that you use to measure that?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So I use something called acceptance and commitment therapy. It's called ACT. It's called ACT training. It's basically talks about increasing your flexible thinking. So everything I spoke about today about, you know, choices and values, it all is kind of encompassed in that book. And there's just it's a book called ACT Made Simple. I would suggest that, which is the least technical and scientific. It lays it down very nicely. And there's a book for parents too. It's called ACT for Parents. So acceptance commitment therapy, it's ACT for short. So those are really great resources I would suggest, just because it's been so helpful and it's evidence-based as well.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Great resources. And I love that you are leading in this field of education, especially for neurodivergent, because that's, as we spoke before, that's something that's near and dear to my heart because I have a special needs son. So I firsthand know how hard and challenging and rewarding it can be to have a special child in your life or special adult, because he's now 20 or almost to be 20. So I totally understand both sides of this. So thank you for what you do, for how you're leading, and I just appreciate you being on the call this day.
Thank you so much for having me, Karen.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win.
Thanks for listening to the Leading Ladies podcast with Karen Gray. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest best business advice on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.